Hello, hello, hello.
What's going on, good people? It is Thursday, September the 14th,
Is it?
8:30 on the dot, and Perspective is in the building. All right. I am Eric Butler, aka the Intellect, aka the Atlantic, because I'm cold, deep, and choppy, aka the Cullinan, because I'm the biggest diamond ever found on land, and ain't nothing nobody can do about it. We're here for another show. Usually I go through this rendition about my background, but I'm going to shorten that and just say that my background is about 17 years in the talent acquisition space. So people have become my specialty. It has ushered me the opportunity to do some consulting, some career development, and introduced me to the Empower series, where I kind of put in my time for community service. And I'm going to ask this anybody who sees this and watching this, go to www.empowerseries.com and just RSVP for this weekend's broadcast. Do that for me. I do get to see who does that. And I'm going to say, if you go and I know you're part of the group and you watch Perspective, I'm going to have a gift for you for those who register. You don't have to go. There ain't gonna be no demands. The only thing I'm requesting is that you go to www.empowerseries.com and RSVP. Just put you going virtually. Hey, come Saturday morning, you ain't doing nothing, you cleaning up, just push play, listen to the content. So do that. And for those who I know, I'm going to pick someone. So make sure you're in that number. All right. And what I'm going to do is pass over the mic to my illustrious, unduplicated, special, one of a kind, aka Miss Not Normal, Latoya, aka Doc. Go ahead, Doc.
That was wonderful. I'm loving this like Barry White situation you got going on. It was amazing. I appreciated that.
All
So
right.
hi everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Latoya, aka Them Kids Mama, aka Chef Jeff wife.
Yep.
No, for real. So my name's Latoya. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and I don't really have any favors unless you want to follow me on Instagram because I've really been killing it lately. Latoya the therapist on Instagram. But we can hit the comments and then we'll get right into it. Okay.
All right. All right. There he is. Ah, and he got the picture for
Come
us.
on with the new picture.
I like it. And that's
All
my partner,
right.
y'all. I'm just gonna say this. Let me read the comment, then I'll do my flower giving. Ben Sutter the third says you can support BS3 Network by sending stars. Stars help us earn money to continue building the network, and we thank you. And if you don't notice, Ben Sutter the third, BS3, so he puts the BS3 into the BS3 network. And then Miss Keisha Walker. Keisha, what's
Key
going on?
Lolo.
Key Lolo. Say good evening, gorgeous people. Good evening to you,
Hi,
gorgeous people.
Key.
Indeed. That's
And
our partner
then
right there. If you know, you know. Mr. Jay Gilliard, that's my partner right there. Now, him and Ivan, who is the other portion of BS3 Network, they, talk about being best friends or whatnot, but hey, that's my partner right there. That's my partner. Um, and then so we're gonna get into the topic for tonight. I'm gonna say this. I think it's a very important one. Definitely have my own personal experience with it, and I am sure the viewers who are on here tonight and those who will see it in the future will be able to relate. Now, this really comes into, I think, a space where it really falls into um, my super duper supercalifragilisticexpialidocious co-hosts as a purveyor of the emotional and the mental components of human beings because she's a therapist. You see what I
yeah,
did there?
I did. That
And
was
so
nice.
um, I mean, I'm going to chime in, but I'm excited to let Doc kind of dig in on this dynamic because I think my rendition and my thoughts of it may be a bit crass and edgy. That's
I
how I would.
think that's our thing, though. I think our thing is you hit them with the edge, and then I cuddle them up with the therapy.
And yeah, she comes with the gauzes and band-aids and ointments, and I'm just chunking ninja, I'm Chinese stars and nunchucks and Gensu knife in the situation. That's how I would describe it. But anyway, let's get into it. So Doc.
Disclaimer. Can I give my disclaimer?
That's
Hi.
it's
So
guaranteed, yeah.
yeah, let me get my disclaimer. So we are speaking from our personal knowledge base, not our personal lives. The things that we will talk about will come from our education, our experience, things that we have seen, heard, witnessed, etc. This does not mean this is happening in our personal lives. I am a therapist, not your therapist, unless there is paperwork. There's always going to be an outlier for every situation, and that's okay because we want you to share your perspective as you listen to us share our perspective. Okay? Like to throw that out there and give everybody a little disclaimer. So, what's the topic? Emotional extortion. Stop that ish.
Listen, it's emotional extortion. Stop that ish.
Stop that ish.
I want to say something else, but I'm not gonna do it.
Yes, we're gonna be polite. Can we first, I love a good definition. So let's talk about what extortion means. Extortion is
all right, go ahead, Doc.
Extortion is when you take something specifically or like more than likely money through force and threats. So it's not yours, but you're taking it. You are bribing someone or something like that. Okay. So it's not good. Don't be out here extorting people. So I love to start with a good definition. And so the first example is guilt tripping. Do you do that? Do you guilt trip people?
You're not asking me.
Yes, I
am. No.
Who I'm asking?
The world. Because Eric Butler, the Intellect, the Atlantic, and Cullinan would never do such a thing.
Okay. Has somebody done it to you?
That would be a fact. Eric Butler, the Intellect, the Atlantic, and Cullinan have been guilt tripped before. Now, here's the thing. Now, so I'll dig into it. I'm gonna quit giving you a hard time, Doc.
We're here now.
Now, the guilt tripping, I would say that's come from my, I won't say children, but my child, my that has happened, and definitely from some of the significant others that I have, and this is starting back to I was a young lad, where that has come into play. And I was all for it. That was, yeah. I mean, I really functioned in some okay type situations.
Were you, dare I say, simping?
Guilty.
I mean, I spent every Thursday with you. I never would have thought that, huh?
Because the beautiful thing about life is that you get to learn when you start operating in truth. Well, when you start living in truth, operating with balance, and start respecting the reality, you get better. And I'm just saying, I'm better.
I never would have thought that you would be out here simping. So, like, now I'm kind of thrown off.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what it is. And this goes, I'm not speaking just for myself, but I'm going to say really, a large demographic of men. That's why you got the Steve Harveys with his confused ass. He doesn't know anything about balance, and he is really leading people astray. He's telling women.
Know what they mean, you know?
This is, say again.
You don't know what he know.
Yeah, dude, because he opened up his mouth and he tell us what he think and what he knows. So he didn't told it on himself. So therefore, I'm
That is just
responding.
a snippet of his thoughts.
Well, I'm on that snippet's ass. How about that?
Okay.
So with that being said, and of course I definitely dig into the details, and there's always different elements to it. He paints it in such a wide brush manner. I mean, he just says, no, you're supposed to do this, and doesn't consider some of the other aspects of it. Because
He
what I
doesn't
do,
really get in the nuance of
there
things.
you go. And life is definitely about nuances. Would I be correct or incorrect on that, Doc?
Oh, absolutely.
I, I love it. She said, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
We need
all
to,
kind of gray. Like life is not black and white. Like it's gray, blue, pink, orange. It's all kind of other colors in there. And I think we often don't. So I think a lot of things, but I think sometimes the platform that we find ourselves on, that it doesn't really give space to dive into each and every color of the rainbow, each and every nuance. And I think that's why I love starting with the disclaimer, because I'm already knowing like there's an outlier for every situation. Your homegirl went through the same thing and she came out clean on the other side. Like I'm already knowing, right?
yes.
But I think sometimes we don't allow for people to deal with the nuance just from like a time perspective.
No, you're absolutely correct, which I think is it's a sad situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll be saying you'll get tagged with the moniker of being not decisive, or you're flip floppy. I'm gonna use some of those rough, edgy terms. Flip floppy.
Come on, flip flop.
You catering, and you because you'll do what you'll do with one or for one. You've looked at the nuances, and you say, well, I'm not going to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z for that one in this circumstances, because
Right.
there are different stimulating circumstance elements involved. And so that's going to dictate what you may or may not do at any given moment. And so I've learned, or I just adapted. One, if you don't know the nuances and you haven't talked to me about why, or kind of search my motive, like
Mm-hmm.
why I'm doing what I'm doing, then
Right.
really you can just shut the hell up and go sit down somewhere. Because if it ain't in your lane, then don't come over here, because you're just gonna get your feelings hurt and feel the pain. And that's just how it goes. So when it comes to that, I will I will look at each circumstance, and then I may be a little bit more, softer in that situation, or I just, I may Hulk out and Hulk smash on that ass.
Okay, Hulk. I think my favorite thing is saying, "Oh, I'm gonna need a few more details," and I like for people to give me more details, because I
Yeah,
think sometimes people will tell you a story and they'll be like, "He hit me," and then you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, why did he hit you?" Blah blah blah. But they left out the part where like they spit in their face and smashed their tire and called their mama word. Like they left all of that out, and they just like, "He hit me." So I love asking people, I'm gonna need a few more details. So.
There was recently just this viral video of the girl that got slapped with that brick.
So did she get slapped with the brick or no?
Yeah, she got slapped with the brick by this white guy.
Because she didn't give him her phone number?
That's what see, there you go. That's what she said. But
I'm
she was in,
asking.
but no, she was antagonizing the dude, and like kind of baiting him in to do that. And then
Mm,
you can't do that. Some people ain't wired correctly, and he followed through on the threat. There was a gentleman. He
right.
got on and said, I'm going to fill in the, I was there. I watched this happen, because one element of it is she was screaming like, why y'all just gonna let him do me like that? They was like,
Mhm.
because you caused it. You caused it. I can't defend someone who, you can't, I can't swim, but you jump in the deep end of the water and then mad because other
Because
people
nobody
don't
saved you.
dive in and save you. They were like, well, I'm not gonna get eaten by the snake or the sharks, or I'm not gonna risk drowning because you put yourself in that position purposefully, with
Mhm.
knowledge and knowing that that's not where you should be. So
Mhm.
that happens, that
And
happens.
I also don't think we don't take enough like personal responsibility as grown people, not children, but as grown people, we can control a lot. And I don't think we take enough accountability for the environments that we often find ourselves in, or for the situations we find ourselves in, because we like to blame. We like to
Mm.
say, look what you did to me. And we don't talk about what we did to get there. So like recently I had went through some stuff and people was trying to paint me out to be the villain, which I'm good at that. I'll do that. But my
I'm good at that. Not good at it. You good at
yeah,
it, Doc?
I'm actually really quite great at it. But anyway, so my whole thing is you want to tell somebody I'm the villain, but you're never gonna tell them what you did to me to get me here. Like that's crazy. And
Yeah.
so I'm always like, I'm gonna need a few more details. Or I love to say, like, well, how did we get here? Oh, well, what happened right before that? Because people will have you thinking it's one thing and it's really 45 different other things. So
45 different other things.
45, because people will leave some stuff out.
They'll leave all the most. Well, people typically they're not going to tell on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I know this. Self-preservation is it's a strong biological automatic in people's lives. I have
Absolutely.
it too. So,
Yes.
but I think it takes a certain. I don't want to use the word maturity. Um, I think revelation. It's more of a revelation to when you really truly look at yourself. Because when you live in truth, you're being honest with. You're gonna be honest with who you are, where you are, what you are with yourself first and foremost, and with whatever your higher power is.
But
That
you
is
know, a lot of people out here not respecting reality, not living in facts, and they gaslighting people, telling them, oh, your paradigm is off and stuff like that. Like a lot of people are not honest with themselves and they'll never say what they did. And
right.
I also know that people have like really fooled themselves into thinking that nothing happened.
Wait, Doc. You say they have fooled themselves. So they
Yes.
really so there's a real thing, and I'm just saying it, getting it from a
Right.
a expert in that space.
Mm-hmm.
So people really will convince themselves of a lie.
Yes.
Yes. I've
Yes.
said this, but since I don't have the numbers and letters and all of the papers on the wall in that specific area, apparently I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I just got co-signed by the co-signer of all co-signers.
Yeah.
Play with that. So Facebook user says that's usually how it happens. The narrator paints a different narrative. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And if
Absolutely.
you, yeah, and for those who are joining, if you would just go give StreamYard permission to show your name. It's not gonna track you or get all your pertinent information and whatnot. It just allows your name to be shown because we want to give you credit for your questions, comments, and contributions here. If you can do that. So Doc, when we talking about so when you're doing these things, this is the they will tell you one portion of the story. They convince themselves that they're the victim, so to speak.
Right.
And I don't want to go too far because we can go on that one. And they will try to guilt trip people into seeing it from their view, and then end with the extortion. Most times there's a request because why are you going to guilt trip somebody? It's usually to gain something, to get something.
Right.
So, what other aspects of that would we say fall into the extortion? Unless you have some more on that.
So typically, when someone's guilt tripping you, it's because they want something from you. They want you to side with them. They want you to pay their rent. They want you to do something. They want you to cut this person out of your life and don't be their friend no more because they did something to me. And it's a lot of language like, well, if you love me, you would do this. But I think that
There you go. That's good right there. Yeah.
going back to that personal accountability piece, what we don't understand is I could love you, but I'm gonna love you enough to challenge you on it. Like loving
Ooh,
you, yeah, like loving you.
that's good. No, because I tell people love is not comfortable. It's not. Love will challenge you. Love will push you. Love will punish you.
Mm-hmm.
It will correct you and redirect you. If that ain't involved in none of the interactions with the person, you might want to question on whether is it love?
Baby, don't hurt me. I don't think we're singing the same song. Okay. So my point is though, like love is not gonna blindly walk you down this path. Like, trust me enough in this love that we have that if I say, hey, tell me a little bit more about what happened, or can you give me another example, or what happened right before that's not me not loving you. That's really me trying to understand and see clarity. And I feel like a lot of times when we're using the guilt tripping, when we're doing any type of extortion, we are trying to get something from someone. And I just would like to say, if you have to resort to extorting someone, do you really need what you're taking?
Say it again.
Do you really
That
need
was
what
it.
you're taking? Like, do
Yes.
you need this and do you need it from this person? If I
Well,
have to guilt trip you into loving me, do I need your love?
mm,
Is that love?
mm. The thing that really points out to me is if somebody's willing to extort you,
Mm-hmm.
they definitely they are blatantly running right past your boundaries. They do not care anything of you because they're trying to get you to do something that you have already expressed that you're uncomfortable with or you don't have the desire to do. And they're going to, because usually the person who guilt trip, they know something about you and they know you enough to start hitting on those buttons.
Right.
You mentioned a great example of it. So one common form of emotional extortion involves using guilt as a weapon. So for an instance, and you mentioned this, someone might say, if you loved me, you do this for me. And we know, there's stories and documentaries where, the new lover say, "Well, I need you to kill him or kill
Yep.
her or kill
So we
them."
can be
And,
together.
yeah, so we can be together. Extortion, because really they just wanted other people dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In many cases, it says this places an emotional burden on the other person and can lead them to make decisions out of guilt rather than out of genuine desire.
Right,
And
because they may not want to kill the other person. They just, feel guilty because they gotta prove their love to you.
yeah, and so this topic is really about relationships, not just emotional extortion on the front end. So think about this in the concept of relationships, whether they're romantic or platonic or in any other sphere. And so some of the damage that they cause is guilt tripping erodes trust and emotional intimacy in a relationship. It can make individuals feel coerced. If you don't know what coerce mean, it's okay. Just look it up. And into actions that they don't want to take, leading to resentment and strained communication. So that guilt tripping, that is a sign of emotional extortion.
I think the thing that I would like to add to that, to the damages, is gonna cause the person to start to lose trust in themselves. Like the person who's being guilt tripped, they're going to start losing trust in themselves, and that's gonna cause damage to the relationship anyway.
Ah,
Yeah.
anyway, anyway,
So,
that's
so
what you
another
do.
form is like silent treatment. So you know how you get all mad and you just stop talking to somebody and you just not saying anything. I actually hate silent treatment because it's actually a form of emotional abuse. And you know what you're doing, and you should not do that. And you are trying to control someone with your silence, and that's not okay. And I don't like it. It's manipulation. And so if you're out
Manipulation.
there giving silent treatment, don't do it. What you can do is say, hey, I don't have capacity to discuss this right now. Hey, I'm not emotionally regulated enough to discuss this with you right now. You know what? I don't want to say something to you that I might regret later. So give me a minute. Like saying all of those things, but to just flat out stop talking to someone and y'all are in relationship and you are doing this intentionally, don't do that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm calling out the people because this is a practice of men and women.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you know, like if you're in a relationship with someone and you're close, if you can just not talk to them. Now, really, this is normally they do this as a weapon because it
Right.
was something you didn't want to do, right? Not
Mm-hmm.
something they necessarily did to you or hurt you, because I can understand, like, hey, I need a minute.
Right.
I need it. And my minute may last days. I get it
No,
because it could be some healing that needs to go on.
no,
Well, okay, let's get into it. We found us one. We found
no.
us one, Doc. Because well, you know what? I didn't intentionally. Well, let me give you the dynamics, and you can tell me if that's what I
Hold
was
on,
doing.
hold on. Let me ask my question. Can you
Okay.
give me a little bit more details about that?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was disappointed in the decision making and actions of someone. Just very disappointed. And I wasn't mad. I was just hurt,
Right.
and saddened by it. I was very, very sad. So I really couldn't say anything because one, I ain't had the right words. But no, it lasted a little while. It lasted a few days.
The silent
Um,
treatment.
See, but that's what I'm saying because I don't think what I was doing was silent treatment. If they'd have talked to me or requested anything or asked of anything, of course I would have responded and paid attention to that certain thing. But this is someone that I would talk to on a regular basis, and we were really close and really tight. But I had to just kind of go lick my wounds for a minute. No love was lost, nothing like that. I didn't want anything out of them, which I think is the biggest differentiator um, on that in that scenario. Because I think silent treatment, in the context in which we're talking about it, is one where you're doing it to punish someone, and you know that it bothers them. It wasn't that situation because I don't think they were comfortable talking at that time either. They had to kind of, deal with it too. So I take it off the table. I don't, yeah, that's not really silent treatment. All right. Mr. J. Gilliard says people get silent and they manipulate people into thinking they are right because they don't respond. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, say more about that.
So people get silent
And they
and they
manipulate people into thinking that they're right because they don't respond. Oh, say more about that, honey, because I want to make sure I'm
I
understanding.
think I know, but
I
I'm
think I
not.
got it, but
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, a little clarification would be good on that. And
yeah.
and any other viewers, if you have stories or if you have examples where you have experienced that, definitely drop it in the chat. Yeah, we love to hear that. Or sir, if you have a perspective on any of these, on guilt tripping, on silent treatment, and with silent treatment, it says another form of emotional extortion is using silence as a means of control. When someone gives their partner the silent treatment as punishment for a perceived offense, they're manipulating their emotions. And you usually have, I mean, I think I ain't gonna use that word because it's a buzzword, but there's a certain type of personality and mindset of MO, or kind of way that they operate that tend to use that type of tactic. And the damage that this can cause is the silent treatment can lead to misunderstandings, communication breakdowns for shizzle, and emotional distancing. Because I can think, how that would do. Because if a person not talking to you and you really love that person, then you like what other things can be going on, especially if y'all working. They work at night, you work in the day, and it just increases the distance and time away. So people's imaginations can run wild with that.
People start creating narratives when there's no communication. And
There
I
you
think
go.
for me, that's part of the issue because people will be like, well, I could have cussed you out. Or you could have just told me what was going on. You know what I mean? Like this whole concept of like, I'm not doing nothing to you because I'm not saying anything. No.
And they know they're doing something to all the manipulation.
And like you allowing this narrative to like take place and really like go off the deep end, and you know what you're doing, when really you could just say, hey, the relationship is not over. I just can't talk to you right now. Like I am just not in a place where we can have a healthy, constructive dialogue. Like just say that.
Absolutely. And when you using the silent treatment, some of the notes I found, it prevents healthy conflict resolution. Like Doc just said, it prevents healthy is the key word, healthy conflict resolution, and damages the foundation of trust in a relationship. And Doc, what would you say about trust in relationships?
Well, you can't. Oh my gosh! Like without trust, there is no relationship.
There is no relationship.
There is no relationship. So if you're damaging the very foundation of the relationship, to me, you just don't care about the relationship.
Just don't care.
Yeah, and I've said that to people like, "Oh, you love this person, but you not talking to them for 3 days. Did they hurt themselves? Like, have they been in the hospital? Did they have a stomach ache? Did they eat today? You don't know because you're not talking to them. So, do you really love them? Like, is it really that deep for you?
That deep. She says, "They're really that deep for you?" So you start asking them real questions.
Yeah,
And
because what are
come
we?
up with
Because
real
y'all
answers.
coming in my office playing, talking about, "Oh,
Okay,
I love
yeah,
you." No, you don't. No, because you out here being emotionally abusive. Why are
that's
you
that.
doing
That's that mirror action. Say,
it?
hey, take a look at this. What do you think? You know what I'm saying? They be looking crazy. Wait a minute, I didn't want to see what I'm really doing and how I'm really acting.
Right.
Mr. J. Gilliam said, using the silent treatment. Say
I think
people,
it's clarifying it.
people use, yeah, people use the silent treatment and they manipulate people into thinking they are right because they
Because
don't
they don't
respond.
respond. Hmm.
Oh, yeah, because if you giving them the silent treatment, you like, I'm right, you wrong, and I'm letting
And
you
I ain't
know,
got nothing else to say.
yeah, because I'm right. And there's no, that's a breakdown in communication because that's not how that goes. Um,
Mhm.
what is the next? What are some other examples of emotional extortion, Doc?
Threats and ultimatums. So, like, people use threats or ultimatums to manipulate other people emotionally. So they're like, if you don't do what I want, then I'm gonna leave you. If you don't agree with me, then we're done. If you don't wear this shirt, then we can't go. Stuff like that. They have a whole show, by the way, on Netflix called The Ultimatum. I'm not even gonna hold you. I like the show. I've watched both seasons. I don't agree with the ultimatum. Like, I
I was
understand
like,
how
yeah, I was like, shit, but it's good entertainment though. I wouldn't
it's
use
great
it as a real life
entertainment.
practice, but on this show, it comes across
Like,
well.
I get how the people got there, right? They like, what you mean? You don't know if you want to marry me or not? Like, propose or don't. If you don't propose, I'm out. What we doing? I understand the concept. I understand the thought process, but I feel like if you give somebody an ultimatum and they propose to you and you accept for the rest of your life, you now have to think, did they propose to me out of fear of losing me because I gave them the ultimatum, or did they propose to me because they're so in love with me and they want to spend the rest of their life with me?
That's the man. That's huge. That's
For
a
the
huge.
rest of your life, because let's pretend y'all made it that far. This is now in your mind. And so from now on, it's like, pass me the ketchup. Did they pass me the ketchup because they think I'm gonna give them another ultimatum, or did they pass me the ketchup because they know I want some ketchup on my fries
It's gonna be. It causes all kind of issues.
for the rest of your life?
Man, you can't even have good dinner. It's just like, they just gave me that. I don't, because then everything becomes questionable as far as manipulation and some ploy for control. Um, and what about some of the damage, like threats and ultimatums create an environment of fear and insecurity in a relationship? Fear and insecurity, man, those are damaging aspects, man.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm afraid to disagree because we might break up. I'm not even secure enough to have my own opinion about XYZ123 because I think you might leave me. And then what people are not saying is, if I'm afraid to have an opinion and I don't express myself, then I'm not being my authentic self. If I'm not really being my authentic self, then neither one of us are in the relationship that we think we're in because I'm not even being me. I'm being like a mask of myself.
You're not being yourself at all. That's so sad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for everybody involved.
And I know I'm just when I think about that, I'm just saying I've seen that in action over the years and just how deteriorating that is to the spirit and the soul of a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen that on both sides too. Men who have done it to women and women who have done it to men. It's much more sad when I see men in that condition. It's like, wow.
Why is it much more sad for them?
Because it's so damaging to the entire environment.
It's not when the woman is in that situation.
No, I think it's damaging to the entire environment. Either way, especially if it's a family dynamic there.
Mhm.
So it's going to affect everybody bad. But I'm just saying, like, I mean, just imagining like men not being men, I would say, or not being, I don't even say them being men, but being leaders and really functioning in the capacity they should, as far as contributing to their family, the lineage, their children's mental and overall well-being, and then ultimately the community. Because I'll never get off that stand. I think healthy men make for healthy environments, whether it be the home within the home and then the home outside of the home. And so if you have a collection, a large collection of healthy men who can stand on their two, can really guide, properly guide and lead a home, then I think it just has a very, very huge impact. A very, very huge impact. And then being a man, of course, I'm a little bit more privy to the damages on that side of the fence. And
Right.
that's not to take away from the damages that may happen on the other side of the fence, but I am not a woman. So I can't really relate and get into the what's the word nuances of how it is so damaging on that end.
Come on,
It's
Blaze.
this hey, I love perspective because I learn as much as I share. I learn as much as I share. But there you go. You got it, Doc.
All right. Do you want? Okay, so can we talk about my favorite? So it's not my favorite in like a sense of like I do this to
That you
people.
like it, no, but
Yeah,
you
that's not what I mean. I mean it's my favorite because it's like a buzzword and everybody's saying it, but I'm not really sure that we know what it means. So gaslighting.
mm,
Duh. Yeah, right. Because it's one of those buzzwords right now. But gaslighting is a form of emotional manipulation where one person denies or distorts the reality to make the other person doubt what they see, what they heard, how they feel,
mm,
their memories, or their sanity.
mm.
And so, for example, they may be like, that didn't happen. I have no idea what you're talking about. I really think you're imagining this. Because now the other person is like, oh no, did I make this up? So, where the term comes from, fun fact, is this movie. Pretty sure the name of the movie is called Gaslight. Because back in the day, they had those little lamps that worked with gas and you had to twist and turn them. And so
Right.
the guy would like manipulate the gas lights and make his wife think that like she was losing it. And I think he ends up like committing her to the insane asylum
Shut up.
at the end of the movie. Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
it's a movie.
It's like an
Now,
old school movie though.
now I
Like
gotta
old,
go. Now I
like
gotta
older
go.
than you.
But that's old. Now I gotta go look it up.
Woo.
Yeah, I did. I said it. But I'm better. I'm like an old wine. I get smoother, tastier, sweeter.
Creakier.
Nah, see, you messed up the whole situation. Creakier.
Like your bones creak. Like
No, I will not. No, I will not claim that.
so okay, when you stand up, your knees don't pop.
No, they do not.
When you sit down, your knees don't pop.
No, they do not.
So you telling me you got Megan Thee Stallion knees?
I don't know nothing about Megan or her damn knees. All I know is mine don't pop. Now they may crackle a little bit, but no popping going on.
At crackle. Okay.
Yeah, that little car. I got a little column Malaysia up under that kneecap right there. A few years of playing ball. It comes.
Okay.
It comes with the territory. What you just did was gaslit me right there. Somebody popping
I said it
knees.
was my favorite.
Your knee. I got knees like a young lost young lady. I
She's
ain't gonna call her.
not.
I ain't gonna call her lost. I mean,
Thank
yeah,
you, because you do not know Meg. Get
yeah, I
up off
know.
my good sis.
I know. She getting her money. I'm gonna let her get her money.
I personally think she's amazing.
I don't know about the word amazing, but okay. She's young. I'll give her.
Anybody for me that can make it in the industry, survive such a scandal, and keep showing up and keep doing
Survive.
yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
Look at you gaslighting me, making me question my definition of survival.
Good for
Yes.
the goose. The gander can have it too.
Oh, did you make that up?
I just right then on the spot.
No, but anybody who can survive that and keep showing up and keep doing the things, that's amazing. That's
Oh.
got to be a lot on a person's mental health. I feel like regular people get stressed out going to work every day. Imagine the whole world watching you.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, it's
Stressful.
of course, but you when you like I said, you jumping on the deep end of the pools. My feelings is a little less. I mean, I don't think she. Yeah, you got to know the type of situations you go into, because she has a lot of spotlight on her, and I'm talking about her situation. By her now, he responsible for his ignorant tail and doing what he did, But how you put yourself in a situation where you get shot in your foot? Sit down. Should listen to
Hold on.
Kendrick Lamar.
Come on, let's peel those onion layers back, because I don't think she woke up that day and was like, oh, let's get put in a situation where we get shot. I'm pretty sure that didn't happen.
Most people don't, but if you go near the water, most likely you gonna get wet. If
Can we get
you
like a
in the
different
casino, you're probably gonna make a bet.
hey,
I mean, I think people gotta take now. Of course, there are always factors that you can't control,
correct.
but you can. I think you can control that. Like,
And
there's a lot of.
what part of her situation? Because I'm assuming we're talking about her getting shot in the foot. What could she have controlled?
Don't be there. Don't be somewhere where animosity and
She
hubbub.
did not know. She was with her people.
Her people, because wasn't her friend messing with that dude at first, and then she went,
I
and
don't know.
then she was like, "I'm going." Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You gotta. You should on that situation say, "Let me. What's your thing? Can you give me a few more
Give some
details?
more details.
Give me some more
No,
details about the situation."
but that's what I'm asking. Like, give me some more details on what she could have done to not have that happen to her, because I don't think there was anything she could have done. I mean, sure,
Yeah,
we could go with
and it
like,
may
don't
be
be
too
there.
simple, but my answer is don't be there. You can't be in the environment with because if you're messing with this guy, you're dating this guy, and you know this guy, then why would you can't put yourself in a situation where you would allow yourself to be with someone who would do such a thing.
She didn't know that he was gonna
So it
do
wasn't
it.
like they just went out and then she got in the truck and nothing had happened. Some things had happened, some decisions she had made, the way she decided to move kind of brought that on. Now you would hope that a gentleman would have a sensible mind. Like, man, if you got to go through all that and she messing with your emotions, you need to just leave. You know what I'm
I
saying?
gotta
And
let it go.
don't don't
Looks like
another
another
man.
love TK.
Stallion, TKO.
I
Yeah,
don't
man,
do
you
that.
gotta slap that horse on that hind quarter and let it run off into the field. Gotta
I
let
don't
it
know.
go.
That's not my understanding of the situation, but I'll get back to you when I have more actual factual details.
Yeah, we
But
can.
I really don't think that she could have done anything. I'm sticking with that. Oh, not Siri.
That's so easy and convenient. So I'm just gonna sit back because you are the therapist, you are the
Would you
expert
gaslight me?
and professional in this arena. So I'm going to go with your assessment on that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All righty.
Okay, so gaslighting can damage and like tear up a person's sense of self, their self-esteem, their self-worth, their confidence. Because if you're constantly in a situation where you're doubting yourself, doubting your sanity, I mean, how are you gonna keep your self-esteem up? You cannot. It can also lead to confusion, poor decision making. And it just makes it difficult to maintain a healthy and honest relationship. So we have to stop gaslighting people. When people come to you with facts and you tell them that their thinking is off, that is gaslighting. You should
Ooh,
not
yeah,
do that.
Doc. Give them some examples, some key examples, because I was just about to say, well, Doc, isn't this like gaslight? And really, all of these that we talked about, they're on a spectrum.
Yeah,
But I think they're all equally damaging.
absolutely.
So, but with gaslighting, that's a good one. So, please continue. You were giving some examples.
Sure. So someone says, "Hey, you said that my t-shirt was ugly and that really hurt my feelings because my grandmama gave me that t-shirt." And you say, "What? I didn't say that. I just said that wasn't a shirt that I would wear."
Well, yeah, that
That's gaslighting. Stop doing people
right
like
there.
that.
Yeah.
Stop
Stop
doing people like
stop
that.
playing with me.
Okay.
That's
Don't
why
be
I put that there, because that part, like all of this comes with that. I'll be like, come on, man, don't insult me. It's
right.
insulting.
Mhm.
You didn't say that. No, I know I said that because I was really specific. Because you've shown me you play that game. So now I'm very pointed and very clear and
Mhm.
strategic in what I say, how much I say of what I say, so
Mhm.
that when you come back, I'm gonna be like, no, 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 no. But I've learned to, you gotta let it go. Don't. Looks like another fool TKO.
Hey,
Hit the
hey.
dough. Hit the dough and let the dough knob hit you. I want the dough knob to hit you where the good Lord splits you.
I want the whole
Feel the
door
pain on
to
the way out.
get out. So another thing is like, so
Hope you
I
get it.
know, so
Hope they get a splinter.
I hope the whole door
What?
falls
Go
on
ahead,
you.
Doc. No, you good. No,
So another thing that is like gaslighting. So like you know how if you say something to somebody and like you say, "Hey, you want to go to the movies?" And they say, "Okay." Then when they get to the movies, they like, "I didn't even want to be here." And then you're like, "Nah, I asked you. You said yeah. I didn't say yes. I said okay."
man,
So then the next
you coming,
time,
you coming with these too good. I'm starting to. Are you recovering?
I'm a therapist and I see people for a living, and these are
Okay.
situations that have
I
happened.
just wanted to make sure this was not a part of your Rolodex.
And so the next time you say, "Hey, do you want to go to the movies?" And they say, "Okay." And then you say, "No, no, no, no. I need a yes or a no because, last time what happened was," and then they say, "Why are you bringing up old things? We're in a new dynamic in our relationship. You should just take my okay." Gas lighting. Mm-hmm.
Doc, I think I've been gaslit
I'm sure.
more so than I realized. More so. Because I mean mine was blatant. It was some crazy like the lies on a level that like I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. But you trying to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
I had an episode where I was just I seen the foolishness so blatant. I say, you trying to get me to do something to you. This is just way too far out of line. So
Mm-hmm.
I ain't been gaslit. I was lava lit. Lava gas,
Come on,
kerosene.
Robin.
What else is flammable? Uh you know what they are. Gas, rocket fuel, uh hot what's that stuff that was in Smog's, whatever was in Smog's throat. Smog is the dragon from the Lord of the Rings. Like
Never saw it.
I, you don't remember that? I am death.
I didn't watch Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, he was cold blooded. Whatever was in his esophagus, that's I would got that.
Come on, esophagus. Okay, so another one.
Yeah.
Withholding affection or love. Sometimes people will withhold affection or love or even sex, let's just call a spade a spade, as a form of punishment and manipulation. So like they'll withdraw after an argument just to try to like make their partner feel guilty. So like y'all will be beefing and you'd be like, "You ain't put the toilet seat down." And they'd be like, "I did put the toilet seat down." And you'd be like, "No, you didn't." And so then the argument is over. And that they like, "Don't touch me. Don't even think about trying to climb on top of me. We can't hold hands. We can't hug. Nothing. We're done."
I could, but I'm going to refrain.
No, go ahead.
Women who do this,
Mm-hmm.
shame on you.
Say more about that.
Shame on you. Because what you do is you really, it's an attack. And if you, I'm going to say this, women who do that, you are inviting the destruction of your relationship. If you're married, your home, if you have children, it's offensive to your kids for you to do that.
How do kids get involved?
Because you do that too many times, your man gonna somebody gonna rub his head and make him feel wanted, and then he's gonna step out. And when he does that, that's an offense on the kids. But it was perpetrated by the woman who say, "I'm gonna withhold something I know that you want, something that I made a commitment to." I ain't gonna necessarily say provide, but I'm requesting that you don't do that. You don't go get that anywhere else. And I'm your supply, and then I hold it back. I mean, you worse than a drug dealer that's trying to turn out a woman. Because it can be like a drug if it's attached to the right person.
Yeah, talking about that old, what should we call it, sugar box?
Sugar box.
Okay, hold on, because I got something to say. I want to peel back one of those layers. I'm not saying have the argument and then immediately hop into bed. If you need a day, cool.
Understood.
But this whole, like, we had an argument 3 weeks ago, now you're not touching me, crazy. Don't do that.
He gonna go get it somewhere else?
Well, he shouldn't. He should first have a conversation. He should be like, what's popping? Brand new whip, no, I'm just kidding. He should
we can't help it. It's in our spirit.
So I really think there should be a conversation like, hey, I noticed we haven't gotten down in a couple weeks. Is everything okay? Like, always ask, is everything okay? I think the assumption that, like, you doing something to me is crazy. I don't like that either. But always ask, like, hey, it's been a while. Is something going on? How can I help you? What's happening? Then express your need, right? Like, oh, I didn't realize that you were still upset because I apologize. I thought we had moved on. This is something that I need in a relationship. Like, make sure this person knows, like, I need this. You need to hold my hand. You need to touch me. You need to have sex with me. This is something I need. And then hopefully I can get back into a routine. I do not think that the initial thing is like, oh, it's been 3 weeks. He's finna find somebody else. Because if in 21 days you have found somebody else, we ain't have nothing, no way.
She said 21 days.
Because that's what, when you say 3 weeks, that sounds like, oh my God, 21 days.
21 days. How you see it's different when you say it like that. 3 weeks sounds shorter. No, it all sounds short to me. But I'm just saying 21 days, a lot can, you can change a whole habit in 21 days.
21 days is nothing.
21 days. Okay.
If we're in a committed relationship.
I don't know. Go ahead.
If we're in a committed relationship, 21 days, and you already found you somebody, some other sugar box, you ain't want my sugar box, no way.
We can't help it. Sugar's everywhere.
You need to be like, diabetic, get back.
This type of sugar does not give you diabetes. Now, it can give you
something that you can give back.
AIDS, you know what I'm saying, and other diseases, but not diabetes. Now, but it's. I mean, I think that's an erosion to the soul, especially if you committed your soul to someone else, so to speak. And I don't want to get too melodramatic with the soul combining, but when you make that decision to combine your life with someone, hey, it's us against the world, and then you're not, because sometimes that's the main thing, that when that kind of connection actually enhances relationships.
Okay.
It's much more powerful and impactful that has been shared because it's been vilified by certain entities and frames of thought and society, and it's been made to be ugly and taboo when it's not, when it's just as regular and routine as the sun and the moon and the stars. It's continuous, and it's something that needs to be approached. So you can't take something that powerful, just like the sun, the moon, the stars, and then just start playing with it all finicky. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's just my perspective.
So withholding, it damages the emotional intimacy, but I feel like you really said that. It can also lead to feelings of rejection and insecurity, because if we was doing it like rabbits and now suddenly we're not doing it, it's like, oh my gosh, did I gain weight? Do you not like me? What's happening? It can also create a hostile environment and hinders the emotional connection. So, ladies, let's not use sex as a weapon, but dudes don't do it either, because dudes be doing it too.
They do.
Yes, we just don't talk about it enough.
I don't know. Now, I don't think dudes use it as a weapon, because I don't think a dude could go 21 days and just be like, it's
I
been
know some people.
maybe,
I know
maybe a few.
several men, when they little feelings get hurt, no shade, and I shouldn't say little, when their adult masculine feelings get hurt, then they don't want to break bread. They don't want to drop that thing off.
Well, yeah, but I don't think. But this is what all of this, because all of this gonna have crossover, right? As you explained. But with that being said, you got to look at the motive. Is the motive to punish? Because I'm serious. Like, if you've done something and I'm just you not sexy to me right now, based on things you've said or you may have done, and again, I need to take a step back. I'm not feeling you at the moment. Like, you can't have been upset, done something, said something that was derogatory or offensive, and most importantly, you can't have done some more disrespectful shit.
Mm-hmm.
You do something like that, and then you want me to lay up with you. You ain't cute right now. You just not cute.
Well, I feel like everybody gets the opportunity to say, hey, my feelings are upset. I'm not feeling this right now. Not tonight, but not 3 weeks later.
Not 3. I don't think it should last 3 weeks. Then there's some. They need to come and sing you at around that time.
Dude, come see me, because I know what to say. Okay, so finally, the last one, financial manipulation. So financial, emotional extortion. It involves controlling access to money or using the money to manipulate the partner. So, like, one person may be like, hey, we didn't get down last night. You can't get your nails done. I'm not giving you the money to go out with your homegirls. When you start to deny people access to resources, that is definitely financial abuse, and I do not get down like that. Like, don't do me like that. Don't have me out here feeling like I can't disagree with you or I can't eat.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And now men, they have been typically the perpetrators of this type of emotional extortion,
Right?
Which I would say really is one of the components that led to the feminist movement. Which I mean, like I said, in the nuances, there are positives to it. But I'm a man, so I see a lot of the negatives of it. It's just like the shit is imbalanced. It's damaging to everybody. To me, it's one of the most. It's an over adjustment, is what I would say. And Mr. J. Gilliam said, "Yeah, unfortunately, they do. Yeah." And
was laughing.
I mean, it's a natural thing, because men, for the most part, the patriarchal format that have been in play, men, kind of control the finances, which has led to things like governmental mandates of like child support, alimony, things of that nature. That's where that has come from. And there are cases where that is very much needed, important aspects. But however, I will say this on the top of the highest mountain, that system is broken and bleeped up. Because I don't care if the man she wasn't out there dribbling. She wasn't shooting them shots, as they like to say.
You want when you're in the gym?
Like, I need to maintain. So now he making the money, but he got to pay for Like, sending somebody hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. No, I don't see it. I don't understand that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's been emotional extortion. Y'all, stop that ish for real. Don't be out here gaslighting people. Um, don't be playing with the sugar box. Oh, oh, oh.
Or I guess they was letting us know, Doc. Like, listen,
Hey,
it is
like,
time. Listen,
don't play with it.
if you would, please. This is my wrapping up. I think it's obvious, but definitely take a moment, think through your own, is this something that it can get? Because some things, like I said, it's on a spectrum, and these are things that can become a part of just your natural subconscious and the way that you operate within your relationship. They're damaging. So do some real, true self-evaluation. And then if that's something that's in that, make a concerted effort to make the change. It may be something that will enhance your relationship to a point that it could be better than you even thought it could be. And I promise you, your partner would appreciate it, even if they hadn't highlighted it. I promise you, they may be feeling that. And if you could take that away or soothe that, it will be better for you, your family, you as an individual, your family as a unit, and I would say as our community, communitively. So I definitely encourage you to do that. And then my final word is, if you would, please go to www.empowerseries. It's in the chat. Someone put it in there. .com and RSVP for this weekend's program. I'm not demanding anything from you. And those who I see, whose name on here, who I know are in our In Perspectives Facebook group, and if I see their name registered, I'm going to put it in a drawing, and someone will get a prize, is what I'm saying. So if you would, and then if not, you don't want a prize, I appreciate that, and just do it out of the kindness of your heart. I really appreciate the support. I sit on the advisory board for this nonprofit, and I'm telling you, it's prime. It's not a money grab. It's not something that's done just for and giggles. We really are out there changing and impacting lives, which ultimately impact our community. And it's for us. And those who understand my language know what I mean. And so please do that. www.empowerseries.com and go to the website and just RSVP. They'll have it for if you want to go personally or if you want to go virtually. At minimum, just RSVP virtual, and I'd appreciate that. Doc, I'll let you wrap us up.
If you found that you were doing some of those things that we talked about on the list, just do your work, do your healing journey, and stop doing people like that. That's not okay. We'll be back next week. Every Thursday you can catch us here. We would love for you to come back and share your perspective. Talk to us. We talk back.
Where can they find you, Doc?
They can find me on Instagram at Latoya the Therapist, hanging out, dropping those therapy gems.
What's the name of that book? What's the name of that book you wrote?
Oh, I wrote a book called The Wife's Guide to Beating the Side Chick. It is available at my website, LatoyaTheTherapist.com, or on Amazon.
Absolutely. You know where you can find me? Everywhere. No, you can find me on Instagram at Cullinan8. You can find me on Facebook at Eric J. Butler Sr. Twitter, I'm tickling with it, but that's Cullinan8 as well. And on TikTok, you can find me at _Butler. But it's Butler, BUTLA. THA_BUTLA. We holler at y'all.